The lady or the tiger? That's a classic story of choices. For the terrible crime of loving his daughter, the king sentenced a young man to stand in the arena facing two doors. One led to a beautiful woman who would become his wife, the other to a tiger and certain death. The dilemma was that he had to choose, but didn't know which door led to life and which to death. The short story, published in 1882 by Frank Stockton, contained a twist in that the young man's lover, the king's daughter, knew the answer and had promised to signal which door led to safety. But did she love him enough to want him to live happily without her? Would she send him to life or death? The story ended without an answer. Life is like that. It's filled with choices that lead to unknown endings. But the biggest dilemma, the biggest choice is life or death, and that choice has an obvious answer. At the end of his life, Moses explained Israel's options in very clear but stark terms. I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. So choose life in order that you may live, you and your descendants. Deuteronomy 30, verse 19. After restating the law in chapters 5 through 26, stating the blessings and curses in chapters 27 through 29, and reminding them that his word is understandable and doable, chapter 30, verses 11 through 14, God offered them the choice between life or death. Obedience led to life, disobedience to death. That's in verse 20. It can't get any simpler than that. Yet, we insist on making it more complicated. Not liking just two options, we convince ourselves there are many, thinking we get to create our own doors. We decide to find our own way to heaven. We assume we can obey God in any old way we choose, and God will accept us, no questions asked. But there's only one door. Jesus said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me, John 14:6. Or worse, we attempt to open both doors at the same time as if we can handle both options. Jesus made it very clear that it won't work. No one can serve two masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. Luke 16, verse 13. Better yet, we know what choice God wants us to make. He made it very clear here in Deuteronomy 30, verses 19 through 20, and in Matthew 6:33. Choose life through submission to Jesus. But do you want to live without the love of this world? That, ladies and gentlemen, is your dilemma. But there's no dilemma tomorrow when you choose a new Morning Minutes in the Bible. Until then, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.